I'm going to show a second way to do percent of increase or decrease. If 70 is increased by 10%, that means 70 represents the whole amount. So 70 represents 100%, but we want to increase it by 10%, which means our end number is going to be 110% of the original amount. 110% as a decimal is 1.1. We can then multiply 70 by 1.1 to get 77, the same result that we got there. We can do that with each of these problems. 44 represents 100%, but I want to increase it by 25%, which means my end result is going to be 125% of the original. 125% as a decimal is 1.25. 1.25 times 44 is equal to 55. It works the same way with the decrease. 8 represents 100% of what we're starting with, but we want to take away 50%, which means we are still going to have 50% left. 50% as a decimal is 0.50. We multiply that by the original amount to get 4. This follows a formula where we have A being the starting amount and then we're going to do 1 minus R, where R is our percent as a decimal for problems that have decrease. Because as we saw in the last example, we started with 100% and took away. But since we want it in decimal form, 100% as a decimal is 1, and then our percent in decimal form will be the R. So this represents our 100% minus our percent in decimal form. If we have an increase problem, it's going to be the starting amount times 1 plus our percent as a decimal. So if we look back at our increase problems, we had 100% plus whatever the percent was. 100% in decimal form is 1. So that's why we got 1.1. So it follows the same logic. Let me show you a few of the examples. 22 decreased by 9.1. 22 is our starting amount. 1 minus my percent as a decimal, so this would be 0.091. So this becomes 22 times 0.909, or 19.998. 88 decreased by 9.2%. 88 will be my starting amount. It's a decrease, so I'm going to use subtraction. 9.2% in decimal form is 0.092. So this becomes 88 times 0.908, which is 79.904. For my increase problem, I do almost the same thing, but I use addition. My starting amount is going to be 21. I do 1 plus 9% as a decimal is 0.09. So now I have 21 times 1.09, which gives me 22.89.